Are you striving to elevate your team's performance, but you feel like something's missing? The foundation of high achievement could be as simple as setting clear goals. Well, rise and shine, leaders. This is Glen, Guyton, keynote speaker and workplace trainer. It is time for our executive coffee break. I have my beverage in hand. I hope you have yours too. They say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your workplace culture, and you can choose your beverage. I'm not doing very well in the beverage department. I had to go out and get me a lemonade. That's what I'm drinking today, is lemonade. I'm recording this a little later today, but that's what I'm drinking. Hopefully you have a good beverage that you're drinking right now. But remember this, leadership matters. So you might as well get good at it. Well, today I'm going to give you 7 tips. Yes, 7 tips on how to set clear expectations in the workplace. And if you are anything like me, if you are a leader with vision, with passion, sometimes you have a lot of ideas. I know I have a lot of ideas, and my teams have gotten tired of all of the ideas that I had. And sometimes I just like talking out loud. I just like thinking of things and saying, oh, we can do this. This seems like a great idea. I've been to this training, and maybe we should implement this. And sometimes my teams were confused. Glenn, do you really want us to do this? Or are you just talking? And most of the time, I was just talking. So I really had to come up with a system so that the people that worked for me really understood when it was time for them to move forward. And I wanted to set clear expectations for them. And you may have the same problem in your workplace. I was working with a team just the other day, a team that was concerned about collaboration. They were concerned about support. And all those things sound really good, but what does it mean? What does it mean for me to support you? What does it mean for me to collaborate with you? I need details because I need to be able to change my behavior in a way that's helpful for you. That's why I'm thinking about this right now. How do we get the most out of our people? How do we cut through all of the tension and the nonsense that happens in the workplace if we don't communicate clearly? If we have not established clear goals, a clear path to success. And so today, yes, right now, I'm going to give you 7 tips that I do believe will be valuable for you. And you should write these down. Valuable for you as you lead your team so you won't be frustrated, right? Are you a frustrated leader? Sometimes I get frustrated because the people just don't perform the way I want them to perform. But many times I have not given them clear expectations. And sometimes you need to write these things down for them. But right now I'm going to give you those 7 tips. So number 1, define objectives clearly. Start by having crystal clear clarity on the objective. So if you're going to launch a new project, lay out those milestones. Lay out what you want to happen. Hey, we're going to build a new facility. Well, how long is it going? Are you expecting it to take? What is the cost? What are the milestones that you'll have along the way? Lay out those things so people have a path to success. Visionary leaders sometimes have the end in mind, but everyone doesn't think like that. Some people need steps along the way. So give specific details for what you hope to accomplish and when you hope to have it accomplished along the way. People need a roadmap, and that's what the objectives are. They are a roadmap. And you say, well, I don't want to have to think of everything. No, you don't have to think of everything, but you should think of the big things. And those big objectives that lead to your definition of success need to be really clearly defined for people. So do that. Next. Have SMART goals. You probably have heard that. I can't emphasize those things enough. Make sure you have specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound goals. So if you want something to grow, don't just say, hey, I want to do better in this area. No, I want this to improve by 20% by the 3rd quarter. this needs to happen. And the thing that I want to happen is an increase in our engagement on social media. And maybe it's a specific demographic that you're looking at, but be really clear. Have those goals. Have your big objectives. We want to build this building by a certain time, but then have your SMART goals to give you that step-by-step roadmap to achieving those things. Number 3, regular feedback loops. I talked about this in some other videos, but there should be no surprises when it comes to performance. You should have a regular way of communicating with people to let them know how they're doing along the way. It's not just enough to say, hey, we have an open door policy. You can talk to me anytime. That is not enough. Have specific check-ins. I have a number of teams that I work with, the teams that help supervise my business, and I meet with them regularly. We have regular check-ins. We have some informal check-ins and we have formal check-ins so that I know what's going on. We take notes at all of our meetings so things are clear. I tell people how they can send me information and the way that they can respond to me to let me know how they're doing if they understand what I'm saying. So there's this immediate feedback loop, and then there are regular meetings, not just a standing meeting for a standing meeting, but a meeting to follow up on specific goals that you have laid out, specific tasks that you've laid out, specific milestones. So have regular feedback loops. Don't wait to the end where I'm just going to trust they get it done. Hey, look, that sounds all well and good, but sometimes things come up and people get distracted. And again, if you are anything like me as a leader, you have probably given this person 20 other things to think about, and they no longer know what the priority is. And so that's why you have to have a process. I build in processes to deal with my insanity, my fickleness as a boss. I put in some systems in place because I know how I am. I know my bias. I know the areas where I'm weak. So I build in systems to compensate for that, or I hire people to compensate for that. But systems, put in feedback loops so that you're staying on task and the people are staying on task. And if you are in a super busy career field, I know you forget sometimes what you ask people to do. I have to start writing things down because, again, I have a million ideas. There are a ton of things that I want to accomplish. I have a ton of energy. And sometimes the people that work for me don't have that same amount of energy. So I have to manage that, and I do that by putting systems in place. Number 4, role modeling. So how do we create that clarity? Well, we want to lead by example. Set the expectations. Make sure you're performing in the same way that you want people to perform. And again, I'm this is confessional time. Let me confess to you all as leaders. Sometimes I work more than I should. Sometimes I work at hours that I shouldn't be working. But I try to remember that the things that I do, the people that work for me will model that behavior. And so I try to communicate in ways that I want to receive information, ways that are helpful. I try to demonstrate the behaviors that I expect. That's another part of clarity, being a good role model, setting the example in the workplace is a way of setting clear expectations. So let me turn that around a little bit. So as I talk about role modeling, if you are doing things poorly, if you are a workaholic, if you are abusing people, you are setting clear expectations in the workplace. So the things that you are doing poorly, or the behaviors that you are doing that may or may not be questionable, people will look at you if you are the boss and say, this is the culture of the company. These are the clear expectations. As they say, actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. I don't know if you are remember BBD, Bell Biv DeVoe? They had that song. Is it true what they say, that actions speak louder than words? You remember that? You remember that? If you Gen Xer, you remember that song? But it's true. Actions sometimes speak louder than words. So you can have all the systems in place. You can listen to all the things that I'm saying. But people in the workplace will mimic you. Remember what I said? Leadership matters. So you might as well be good at it. Help you be good at it. Number five, transparent communication channels is really good. Create a transparent communication channel for your projects. That could be, you may use Slack, Teams. You may have some type of project management software. We have that with some of the teams I work with, so that you can track things. You can put feedback on very specific tasks. What is the best? Here we go. Here's the secret. What is the best project management software? Secret is the one that you're going to use. I've used all types of programs, the new online cloud-based ones. I've used Microsoft Excel. I've used Microsoft Project. I've used pen and paper, like a little checklist that I've had. What's the best one? The best one that you're going to use, and you're going to use it consistently. Don't be switching up stuff all the time on people. And your IT department is always coming up with new programs to use. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's all really just a checklist, right? You're checking stuff off. So the one that you're going to use is the best one. The one that you're going to be consistently using. Don't just keep switching programs. They aren't that helpful. Well, it depends on if you're like in construction or something where you really need to map out things and other people are looking at it, you may have some mandates. But for others of you that are just switching back and forth between software because you went to some convention and you thought it was great, stop doing that. Find one, stick to it, use it for a few years, get the most out of it so people understand what they're doing and know how to use the software. Stop wasting all that time on training. Next, training and development. Provide training and development about your processes, about goal setting, about the workplace culture. That's how you start setting these clear expectations and bring clarity to the workplace. You have to train people in the language that you use. I've been a part. I'll give you an example. I was in the military, and we have all these acronyms. USAA. That's you know what that is. Maybe you do it, maybe you don't. But USAA, NCO, NCIS. I mean, there's so many different acronyms, and PTO, PT. What are all these acronyms? How do people learn these things? You have to train people in the lingo and the language, train them in the shorthand of how you communicate in the workplace. And so you have to have workshops to help people learn how to communicate, help them understand the language, help them understand how things are done. What's the culture of this workplace? How do we communicate? How do we understand each other? How do we use all of these different programs and systems, and what are the best practices? Training and development is important. Number 7, and this is always a good one. Number 7, the final one is always good. Acknowledge and reward. Rewards. Acknowledge and reward achievements when people get it right. You have to catch people getting it right. Every time you reach an objective, when you reach a milestone, there should be some type of celebration. Now, you don't have to go crazy, but just a recognition. Hey, we did good. We achieved 70% of our goals on time, on task, on target. Hey, everybody take 30 minutes off or whatever. Everybody gets a pizza party. Everyone gets a $5 gift card to Amazon, whatever. I don't know. Everyone, your profit sharing is going to increase by 0.2%. Have some way to reward that clarity when people get it, when they understand, when they catch the culture of the organization, when they are moving along this path at the right pace, and that doing the things that you've asked them to do. Then you know what people will do? They'll continue to do that good stuff. I mean, we are all human beings. We like rewards. We like to be, for the most part, recognized for our achievement. Most people do in some form or fashion. Now, that may manifest itself in different ways. Some like it more public. Some want to be more private. Some want more money. Some just want you to call their name. They want their name and poster. Hey, I'm employee of the month. I did a good job. You have to figure out the right incentives for your people, but we all need some type of incentives in the workplace. And I'm very intrinsically motivated. I like to be recognized for doing a good job, but I don't need a whole bunch of fanfare. But I like to say, hey, Glenn, we can trust you. That's good. That's good enough for me. Knowing that I've done the best and someone appreciates me doing the best that I could do. And so I try to be uh, try to reward the people that I work with in meaningful ways that are consistent with some of their values and their beliefs. You have to find out what that is for you and your team. My challenge, so I gave you those 7 things. Let me read those again. Clearly define your objectives. Number 2, SMART goals. Number 3, regular feedback loops. Number 4, role modeling. Remote role modeling. Remember, actions speak louder than words. Number 5, transparent and consistent communication channels. Number 6, training and development. And number 7, acknowledgement and reward. So my challenge for you today is I challenge you to implement one of those strategies in your leadership practice this week. Observe the changes not only in performance, but in how your team aligns with your vision. So maybe you have a problem child or person that is just not getting it. Try one of these 7 things on them. Remember, clarity in expectations is the first step towards outstanding achievement. All right, try it this week. Please try it. Let me know how it goes. Email me, glenn@glenguyton.com. Hey, just let me know how things are going with you, if these tips are helpful to you at all. And let me know maybe what your pain points are as a boss. Are you all over the place like I was or like I am at times when you have your systems in place and everything is clicking along? Let me know how things are going with you. So as we close, let's not forget the strength and perseverance that it takes to lead with empathy and inclusivity. Better leaders get better results. So to every one of you leading the charge for a more supportive and engaging workplace, I leave you with this. Stay bold, stay inspired, and remember that your actions today shape the culture of tomorrow. You have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. This is Glen Guyton.